Hey, they're here! So yesterday was a big day for sure for VR, but as I posted a Quest 3 announcement trailer, I actually saw a lot of confusion, questions and concerns about it, mostly about how the new touch controllers work, so I felt my duty to explain everything you need to know about the Meta Quest 3, the next generation headset from Meta. So well, top to bottom, let's get into it. So let's start with availability and price. The Meta Quest 3 is gonna be $499 for the 128GB version, and there will be a bigger storage version for probably, as always, $100 more. Meta said that availability will be this fall, but consider invited people to add to the calendar the September 27th, 28th Meta Connect, so the big Meta conference where they usually announce completely their hardware. We're expected to arrive around 2 or 3 weeks later, like it usually happened in the past, so mid-late October. Bear in mind that for sure we're gonna hear more about it in the coming months, so stay tuned on the channel for it. Shameless plug. Now, talking about the headset itself and the new look, this is gonna be 40% smaller. Of course, this is for the part with the hardware because, as you can see from the images, the footprint is not that much smaller because, yes, you still need a face cushion to actually wear it comfortably. But this smaller footprint actually gave us a confirmation about the new lenses used in this headset, because these are gonna be the pancake lenses, the new generation lenses that we also have on the Meta Quest Pro. A confirmation because this thin design will be completely impossible with the older Fresnel technology that needs more space in between the screen and the lenses themselves. As I might notice, you didn't mention the weight at all, so expect it to be pretty much the same one as the Quest 2. At the end of the day, the hardware is still all in the front, and while I'm not super excited about it, the slimmer design will help for sure for comfort, so we'll have to try it in person, and for sure the strap is a big invite for third-party accessory makers to cash in the Quest 3 as well. Also because this is not gonna be compatible with your old Quest 2 accessories because of the ports placement on the side. As you can see, there is the USB Type-C connector there. But let's get to the juicy part, the 3 pills in front of the headset. For sure, a design statement, something very recognizable, and also those are 3, like the Quest 3. Here though is where most of the magic happens, because in the 2 external pills we're gonna have 4 cameras, 2 black and white cameras for the tracking and 2 full color RGB camera for stereoscopic pass-through. These are 4 megapixel cameras to have a more accurate representation of the space around you. And just to put in perspective, they're gonna have 10 times the pixels of the pass-through of the Quest 2. And as we heard from the hands-on from Bloomberg, well, they're gonna be able to read your screens or your phone directly with your camera, so with the headset on. There was a lot of confusion here because the 2 black and white cameras are not the only 2 cameras used for the tracking. There are actually 4 cameras for the tracking, like we had in the past in the Quest 1, the Quest 2, and the Quest Pro. Same things here because the 2 additional cameras are gonna be on the bottom on this side. So we have 4 cameras for the tracking, 2 for the pass-through. So don't worry, the tracking is gonna be just fine, like in the past. But the big feature is in the middle pill that is gonna house the depth sensor. This one will shoot infrared rays in front of you to create a depth perception. This is vital for good mixed reality, and not just for that, because you're gonna probably also enhance the tracking capabilities of the headset for the controllers. We're gonna talk about it later. And also avoiding creating your guardian every single time. This sensor is more important than you might think, and the lack of it was the big reason why the Meta Quest Pro kind of flopped about mixed reality applications. So no eye tracking or face tracking here, as it lacks of the needed hardware, even if the 2 cameras on the bottom actually face down quite a bit. So with some miracles from Meta, something might happen in the future. Just don't hold me on that. So here the total focus was to keep the price down and of course mixed reality. Looking briefly at the bottom, we have the volume rocker and the IPD adjustment wheel, and those 3 dots are for the charger accessories similar to what we have on the Quest Pro. Also about the Type-C on the side, this thing will of course gonna be compatible with PC VR, and it's not gonna be a display port, so no direct connection, but it's still gonna use the link capabilities. With the new processors though, it's gonna have much better encoding, so we might expect a much better quality than before, and also a better connection with the Wi-Fi 6E in this headset. So PC VR users, you're good. But let's talk about the processor. This is gonna be the next processor from Qualcomm for VR headset with double the performance, and that will make possible to make bigger games in a huge generational leap. Faster memory, double the memory bus, higher clock speed, and a 4nm footprint, making less power hungry while having more performance. From the video from Meta that for some reason is still unlisted, you can see how much more it can render compared to the Quest 2 in the same game. Again, this is a huge generational leap. Oh, about the Quest 2 and the Quest Pro with the XR2 chipset is a good news because Meta in the next software update is updating the Quest 2 and the Quest Pro GPU and CPU, where the Quest 2 and the Quest Pro is up to 26% CPU performance increase and up to 19% GPU speed increase for the Quest 2 and 11% for the Quest Pro. This is because the Quest Pro was already clocked a bit higher. On top of that, they enabled dynamic resolution scaling, where the resolution in games can stay higher and it will lower down if needed to avoid slowdowns in performance. This has to be enabled by developers, by the way. Also starting June 4th, Meta will be lowering or actually bringing back the $299 price for the Quest 2 for the 128GB version and $349.99 for the 256GB version. So all of this is pretty cool. Expect higher resolution games and hopefully the battery life will still the same for these two headsets. Back to the Quest 3. With a much more powerful processor, we have much better visuals, of course. So let's talk about the screens and the lenses. Here in first party, but again, because of the footprint, we have the confirmation that we're using pancake lenses, those are the same one of the Quest Pro, that as we talked in the past have an amazing clarity, and they said that the resolution of the screen that probably is going to be an LCD to contain the cost is going to be higher than before. So higher resolution and better lenses are going to give much better clarity and visuals. But now the big topic. Controllers. This is a new generation of the touch controllers and the first with the Meta logo instead of the Oculus logo, IRP Oculus. And while they look pretty sleek, the two big updates are the new haptics, the True Touch, that seems to be a response to the PSVR 2 controllers. Hopefully that will bring haptics also to the grip button, that will be incredible with grabbing things. And the second big thing is the lack of the ring on it. So how the heck do they work? Again, as you can see, the new controllers lack the rings for the tracking as the Quest 2. And yes, they don't have the cameras like the Quest Pro controllers as well. So how?
Going back to the original Oculus Touch controllers, the ring on the outside is covered in a constellation of LEDs in a specific pattern that allowed the computer vision on the inside-out headsets to track the controllers in space. And so the new controllers that we have still have infrared LEDs on them in a constellation that you can't see because you can't see infrared light, but that the cameras that we have on the headset can see. However, they also are going to be in positions where many of those LEDs are occluded. And so we have fused the computer vision we were using for constellation tracking with our hand models. So the hand tracking is also going to kind of running at the same time. And so we have a model of your hand and it tells us where the controller is in conjunction with all the tech tricks that we've been using for a long time, using IMUs and smoothing to fill in gaps. They work really well.
If you're a bit worried, just bear in mind that hand tracking is going to be much better thanks to the depth sensor in the middle that's going to shoot rays all around, and so you're going to have little dots on every part of your body, and of course the hands are going to be better tracked with them. It's the same technology that the Apple headset will use. So everything will work in conjunction to actually have a better tracking, and the plus side of this is going to have smaller controllers. They're never going to get in the way when doing different poses with your hands. By the way, they also confirmed that you will be still able to use the Quest Pro controllers if you want. By the way, Meta showed also a lot of different games coming to the Quest platform, and it's pointless to say that this Quest 3 is going to be backward compatible, so that means every title that works on the Quest 1, Quest 2 is also going to be available on the Quest 3, and you're going to be able to play it with higher performance thanks to also the dynamic resolution scaling that when this is going to arrive is going to be full enact for every single game, and well, you're going to have the same games at much higher resolution. Out of the bat. Plus, many new games are coming, like where is the San Andreas VR that we got the tease for 3 years ago? It has to be somewhere. And I'm sure they're not going to launch this headset without new games. But here we have it, this is everything we know about the Quest 3 coming this fall for $499. Let me know what you think about it in the comment below, and hopefully I answered all your questions with this deep dive on everything we know about this headset. To be honest, I'm very positive and happy about the announcement because the Quest 3 really feels like a total upgrade from the Quest 2. Are you planning to jump from the Quest 2 to the Quest 3? Let me know in the comment below. And as always, guys, if you liked the video, like. If you didn't like the video, dislike. Subscribe to the channel for more VR tech. If you really love the channel, there's a join button on there. Turn further to the Patreon. Thanks to all the patrons who joined the channel, of course. I see you guys in the next video. And if you have any other question, please let me know in the comment below. I will try to answer as much as possible. See you guys in the next video. Ciao!